So, after that contractors video I made recently, a lot of you were saying that the mod I was using was realistic, but if I think this is really good, and I have a lot of fun with this, I should try a game called Ghost of Tabor. It's so realistic and it's way more anxiety riddling than any other VR shooter out there, and if you like adrenaline, you should play it, and if you like realism, it's great, and it's a completely different experience than anything you'll ever experience. Unfortunately, I don't think they realize that I've made a lot of Tabor videos in the past. I've kind of been known as the Tabor hater in the VR community. Even though this is a very small channel, I've bitched about it a lot, I'm going to be honest. I dissed the game a lot and gave it a lot of flack back in the day, but I felt like if you guys want to see me play it, I'll give it another shot and just try and be more fair towards the game and give an honest opinion now that I've been away from it for so long. Because, you know, why the hell not? I know you guys suggest the game a lot, so I'm going to play what you guys suggest. And again, maybe it's changed since the last time I played it. I wasn't 110. I was like, okay, well, we'll just re-download it and I'll hop in it and see if there's anything that's changed. Maybe it'll be different. I was wrong. Nothing has changed. I literally don't think there's been one update since last time I played, which was around the Bunker Cats release. I did not have a bad time. Let me be clear about that. I did have a really fun experience. I ran into a few hiccups, but that's typical Tabor being Tabor.
Hold on, I gotta do something weird. I gotta change this over. So for context, this game doesn't have a button to open the menu when you're playing on PC, because if I hit this button that everyone constantly tells me to hit, it opens my Steam VR menu, which you guys can't see. If I hit this button, it opens the Oculus menu. So that recenters me and puts me this way, right?
I think this game just isn't as interesting to me as it used to be when I first started, and that's kind of why I gave it a lot of flack when I did the review of the game. But that being said, will I end up playing it more? Yeah, probably. I actually had a fun time. Do I think it'll become my main source of content? No, I really hope not. I'm pretty damn good at it at times.
What's that even called? Did I just cap him? Did he just drop immediately? Start peeking. Come here, boys. I don't play this shit. I'm bleeding. I ain't got no bandages. Peek me. Come on, get the kill. Get the kill, boys. I have really good stuff, man. You need to come kill me quick. What's bad is I do have a bandage. Oh my god, I did hit that guy's head, bro. Holy shit. I'm the greatest. Oh my god, how?
But if this video blows up, I'm going to be really mad. I don't want to make content on this game all the time, but if it does good enough, I'll stick with it. So please don't get mad at me and cuss me out in the comments for this, because I know this is a lot of your favorite games. I know you guys are younger or older. This is a game that has a bunch of audience, and I don't want to step on anybody's toes. But I do want to give a little list of the things that I didn't really like versus the things that I really like. If I'm going to upset you and really make you mad at me, don't watch this, because I'm going to say some things about your game. First off, I did notice one change, and I do like this change. They updated the traders' missions.
They redid the challenges. I'll admit, that impresses me. I like that. That's good.
These missions are a lot more closer to Tarkov, where it's like you bring them certain items, you bring them certain things, and I like that. That adds some spice to it. It's not just, oh, kill this amount of players in this amount of time, or, oh, kill whatever, or with a certain weapon. It's not so boring. It's like the trader will be, oh, hey, I'm running out of backpacks. Go find me some backpacks real quick and I'll pay you. I do think they should up the reputation you get from it. I'm not sure if they did, but I think they should up the reputation you get for how hard some of these missions are. But I do like how they did it. It's more fun to me. This is closer to Tarkov, which I used to love Tarkov back in the day, if you guys don't know that. But I love Tarkov. And everything this game does more like Tarkov, the more I'm going to like it. So I do like that a lot. Now, coming back to this game compared to Pavlov and Contractors, the guns feel really unorthodox. I'm not saying they're bad, but they don't have a lot of weight to them. Obviously, trying to replicate weight or the feeling of weight in a VR setting is kind of hard. But Pavlov did it, and Contractors did it, and even modders for Contractors added more weight to make it feel even more realistic. Of every game, this game should be able to do that. Just add a little more weight to it, make it feel like a real gun in my hand. Virtual stock feels really weird, and I feel like I needed to turn that off, and next time I play, I will be turning that off. But just felt really odd. I can't explain it. All the guns feel like they weigh the exact same. Regardless if I have a SMG versus an AR, an LMG, whatever you have, they all feel like they're the same weight with the same motion, and I just takes me out of immersion a little bit. I'm a gun owner in real life, and I know that a pistol is not going to have the same weight as an AK. I get it, there's gripping points that are different, but it still has the same weight. I want it to feel a little bit heavier. When I'm holding the SKS, I ought to feel like I have something heavier in my hands, or a heavy gun. Same with an AK compared to an AR. AR is lighter, definitely. So I feel like they should add some form of weight to every gun. If they would just add more, it would make the game feel more realistic, and it would be even better, because that's what people are coming to Ghost of Tabor for. Not for an arcade shooter. They're coming to feel like they're really in a war zone. Secondly, still kind of wonky with grabbing objects and stuff. I complained about that long ago, but I get it. This being a looter shooter, that's also kind of hard to fix, because, you know, it's not like I'm picking up an Alex Pereira Stonehead in Contractors or a keycard in Pavlov. All I have to grab is guns and mags. So they have a lot more time to be perfecting the grabbing and the objects, but some games do kind of do this. Things like Arizona Sunshine, where you do pick up different objects and stuff like that, I feel like they did it even a little bit better than Tabor, and I get it, that's a way bigger studio than what we're working with here. Bless their hearts over at Combat Waffle, they're doing a great job, but they just need to work on it a little bit, and that's a little gripe. It doesn't really bother me, but I'm just kind of giving a list of things they could work on. Something that actually does irritate me a lot is the crouching. In Contractors, I have a little bit of issues with the crouching because my body will get in the way of me and my head will kind of shrink down into my torso and it'll kind of be a little odd. But it's not unusable. Pavlov, your body's invisible, so that's not an issue when I'm crouching. I can literally lay on the ground and not be affected at all, but my immersion is kind of ruined by me being invisible, and I can't stand when I'm playing a VR game and I'm not immersed. Tabor feels horrific, and it has both settings. It has a full body where you can see your entire body, or it has an invisible where you can see more of just your hands. And either way, you still see the armor you have on, you still see the backpack. So that's the problem. It'll phase through you and make it so hard to see when you're crouched down. It's really, really annoying. Because obviously, you know, I get it, they can't make the armor invisible and the backpack invisible, but they just need to make it where it just stays out of the way. Make it where I don't even care if it goes all the way in the ground and somehow my body's able to get shot. I just don't want it in my eyes when I'm in the middle of a gunfight or I'm trying to hold something. Like, I camped the exfil, and literally the entire time I was crouching, I couldn't see anything. Also, don't camp exfils. That's a sin. I do it because I don't really care about the game. I don't play it regularly, so I'm not going to kill anybody. Something that can be worked upon, and I feel like, again, comparing this to other VR games is kind of messed up, but it's the only thing I have to do. Just the most physically straining position you can be in, just to be able to see while you're crouching. Every game in VR that I usually crouch in, I either get on my knees or sit on my ass. So I don't want to do this like half crouched position that doesn't feel natural at all. It feels like I'm using a squatty potty whenever I'm trying to crouch in Tabor because it's such an awkward place to sit. It's in between crouched and in between standing. That's something that could just use a little bit of work. Again, all these things are a little bit of works here, a little bit of works there. If they would just put in the time and effort just a small bit at a time, that'd be great. Now, I will admit, the loading mags and having all the freedom of doing your own things, like filling your own water canisters and filling up your generator with gas, I love that stuff. Games like these, when you play on a normal flat screen, you don't really get the experience, especially like Tabor. You're taking care of your bunker, doesn't even feel fun. It's pretty much just a screen. This is cool. I really like how Tabor does this. Something that I didn't really do back in the day, and it's something I do a lot more now because now I have GPUs and now I have all these things to really worry about in the base. And it adds an element to the game that's really fun. Now, this is just a suggestion, but I feel like it would be really cool if you could like work on guns and maybe clean guns, maybe fix the GPU. Like, let's say one of your GPU's fans breaks. I feel like you should be able to have like a little workstation to work on stuff. That'd be really cool if you had like just a screwdriver set or something super simple that's not too complicated, but it just adds an element to it. I think that'd be really cool. This game kind of holds on that where it's like you're all alone doing your own things. You're loading your own mags, you're filling your own water up, you're filling your own generator up. You don't have anybody else doing it for you. You're alone. And I think they should play a little bit heavier into that, where it's like, okay, if you can plant seeds and put GPUs in the intel room, why not have to water the seeds, actually, instead of just filling a machine that waters them? Why not have to fix a broken GPU fan because it's not spinning properly? Maybe the gun slide needs to be just oiled down a little bit, P. Diddy style, you know what I mean? Little stuff like that would make me appreciate the game a little bit more because I like games that really play into the realism aspect of it, especially when it comes to something where you're in a more apocalyptic setting where it's like, this is, you know, you're going in with nothing. I think it'd be really cool if your bunker had a little bit more survival kind of feel to it, and I don't even like survival games. Now, if I have to do any more time to prep for a raid, I'm probably going to lose my shit. So, Don't make it absolutely mandatory with everything. You know, I'd say it's something you could tinker with and make more fun. My Quest 3 only lasts for like an hour and 40 connected to the PC, so don't get too fond of that system and overdo it, but it would be fun. It would be a fun element to the game. I do have to say I think the combat is super addictive. It has some of the same elements that I love from Pavlov and that Insurgency mod from Contractors. It's hard, it's kind of scary. Pause, sounds weird. But it has a serious tone to it. When you shoot somebody, bodies just drop flat. No points pop up, no noise, no little arcadey nothing. It's just you watch somebody fall in front of you. That's them dying. Also, another element to this being like a looter shooter, looting in VR games is kind of a struggle.
Anyways,
Can't really hold everything at once like you could in real life. I could hang my gun on my chest even if I had 2 or 3 in real life. If I have enough slings, I can hang as many weapons on my chest as I want to. I could throw them over my back, whatever. I can really keep a weapon on me for a good minute. But in VR, super nerve-wracking just to put your gun down to loot. If you have 2 weapons, you have 2 primaries, there's really no way to check a bag safely without just throwing one of your guns down on the ground and having to pick it up in a few seconds. Before you can even react, somebody else has already heard your shots and is now pushing you. Then you've got to drop everything down as fast as you can and rush for your gun, whether it be on the ground, whether it still be on you. And super nerve-wracking to have to put your gun down to loot and to have to check bags. In Tarkov, you have to lay down on the dead body and check it for whatever, check all the pockets. The same thing happens in this game, but it's so much more intensified in VR. Instead of me having to wait for a loading bar to happen, I actually have to grab the backpack and look through it. I mean, I have to look through it with my own eyes and identify what I want to keep, what I don't want to keep, and it really makes you more wary sometimes. Even in Pavlov, they have some weird resurgence mode, and it just doesn't do the same. You don't really have to look. It's just like a menu of grabbing stuff. Now, I'll have to say it's probably not as glitchy as Tabor's is, and I wish they were a lot better about putting the diameters inside the backpacks where I maybe can fit a gun sometimes that's real small or something like that. But they're trying their best, and they really did execute it beautifully because it's not something I thought I would appreciate in VR, but I do. Most of the time when I stream this game, people ask me if they can play. I usually don't let viewers join just because I've had some really bad experiences, but I have to say, I've met a lot of friends through this game. Buddy TK, my buddy BLT, all the people that you can think of in my circle right now that I wasn't friends with for the last 5 years, I met through this game. So it's really fun to have a game that brings people together like this. And I talked so heavy on the team aspect of Contractors, but this is a completely different ball field. You have to really trust everybody that you go into raid with, because if they want to, they can screw you over. That being said, the community is not the best with the whole skill issue stuff. Every time there was something talked about, or you guys got any hate on the game, it was always just a skill issue or whatever. Not a fan. Change up a little bit. But this game does have a pretty decent and pretty good community behind it. And this is one of those games where young people can play and not constantly get bullied. Won't even do anything wrong. They're just trying to make conversation and they get kicked. So this is a game where you can either be the lone kind of player that likes to play by yourself, or you can get a squad going. I do miss how Tabor used to be, where it was more people running around and interacting and talking sometimes, and then maybe there was like a funny betrayal or however that was. Now it's kind of become, okay, if you see somebody, immediately kill them. Don't give them the opportunity to even try and negotiate or bargain. Nothing. But again, that's the name of the game. You're trying to get people's loot. How are you going to do it? You got to take it. And I hope I didn't upset anybody making this video. I know you guys are passionate. I love it. I'm not talking bad about your game. I actually had to give it some props because I actually really did have a fun time. But I think that's all I want to talk about. You guys want me to make another video? I'll go back and play it even more, play it for longer. If you guys have anything that you like about the game in particular or you dislike, please feel free to leave it in the comments below. I know some of you are going to give me some flack for my opinions and you didn't watch this whole video. But I don't really care. I'm probably just going to ignore them if they're rude. If it's genuine discussion, I'm always down for genuine discussion. You feel me? But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I don't know if I'm going to make any more Tabor content. It just depends on how this video does and if you guys really like it. And yeah, that's all.